with no instruments. Yes, that is correct. None of them even knew how to hold these instruments just a short while ago. It feels like it was last week that we started school. How time flies when you're having fun. And we started teaching them what we call our concert F note. And for some of the brass players, it's a very high note. And our beginner book actually starts 2 or 3 notes lower than that. And so before we even get our books for the year, we start teaching them to play this high-pitched note that we call it high pitch. It's actually right in the middle of their range. But that makes teaching them the other notes later on very, very easy. And so I think I still have it. Every year I try to get my phone to work here. Bear with me, folks. Every year I want you to understand the torture that the joy that we endured while we were, I can't talk and do something at the same time. Our students are embarrassed, but I just want you to hear what they sounded like in their glory. Yeah. So, I don't think you got the full effect. It's awesome. Now, to be truthful, that was one classes, but they both sounded the same, and we got to listen to that for weeks. Weeks. But now, they sound like this. Shortly after they get a good grasp of that, we get the books out and we start teaching more notes. And we add to that what we call the concert D, and I believe the concert C notes. And we are then able to, and concert B flat notes. So we kind of ignore the concert F for a little while, and we go to lower notes that are now easier because we taught them the embouchure for that high note. Then we come up with a tune that we love to play every year. It is called the Hot Cross Buns. Okay, and then we throw the wonderful Mary Had a Little Lamb tune at them that incorporates that high concert F for them. Mary Had a Little Lamb. And if you notice, they repeated that. And so that was the first line in the book where their eyes are trained to go back to the beginning of the line and we repeat the measure. So that was that one. And we then move on to adding a couple more notes. We add the concert E flat, which is just below that concert F. And then we play several lines with concert F. We come up with our first Christmas tune, which is Good King Wenceslas. And we like to go around the room and demonstrate the specific sounds, the timbre of each specific section. And so we'll now do this one, Good King Wenceslas, and we'll go around the group and you'll be able to hear the distinct tones of those instruments.
I need a paper. I'm not as smart. I can't remember things. Our next tune up is going to be Jolly Old St. Nicholas. As we're going through our book here, this is Bruce Pearson's Standard of Excellence. We learn a lot of different concepts that we utilize in 7th and 8th grade as well as high school bands. This really just sets up our foundation so that we are able to do what we do with the rest of our groups. We work on, up to this point, we've done almost everything in unison. Everybody's playing the same notes, almost all same rhythms except for snare and bass drum. And so this is one of our first tunes that we do what we call a duet. There are 2 parts. And so we'll play through this and showcase that 2-part harmony for you. The next tune for you is called Farm Out. You may also recognize it as Old MacDonald. There are many tunes that we play out of this book that are standards and sort of you have to play this in order to say that you play an instrument. Mary Had a Little Lamb, Hot Cross Buns being some of those tunes. This is Old MacDonald. This shifts them into 2/4 time signature, and one of the first time signature changes that we come across as 6th graders. So here is Old MacDonald. At the end of this semester, these students have gone from that concert F sound, which you heard at the beginning from our recording, to learning all of 7 notes. They can play almost an entire scale. And as you can see up here, we don't have the entire band setup that you would normally see in our high school group or even our 8th and 7th grade group. This year we decided to change things up a little bit as sort of an experimentation, as well as using some kind of more modern music education research-based teaching. And we have started with more reduced instruments. So we have just the flutes, clarinets, trumpets, trombone, baritone, and percussion this year. We do not have some of our other instruments such as French horn, saxophones, tuba. And the reason for that is it allows us to, number one, have less notes in the band. We don't have to transpose and talk about transposition as often. And it allows us to talk about tone production and just sort of basic characteristic pedagogical things with our instruments. And it allows us to make better sounds faster. And we can switch a lot of these students in 7th and 8th grade into what we call secondary instruments, those other instruments that I listed that are missing up here today. So be looking if you have a student up here, who especially some of our trumpet players and clarinet players, if they're interested in a saxophone, French horn, tuba, maybe later on, that might be something that we have a conversation with them as we progress. This next tune is called Go for Excellence, and it features all 7 of our notes that we learned this semester. last tune for you today with our 6th grade bands is Mr.
Hello,
That never happens. Our last tune for you tonight, for this afternoon, from our 6th grade bands is entitled Jingle Bells. This is, as we moved through the semester again, we do a lot of things unison, where we're all playing the same notes. This tune has 5 different parts going on. We'll have a lot of different sounds. This is sort of our first big band piece. And the kids have a lot of fun playing through this. It's a lot of fun to teach, and it's challenging. So we're gonna play this for you, and thank you again for coming out. Please, we encourage you to stay if you can for the 7th and 8th grade bands performing at 3 and 3:30. It's a great opportunity for your 6th grade student to see what that next step is for them a year or 2 years from now, if you are able to stick around for that. Thank you.
One last thing, sorry about the cell phone. I'll yell at my son later, but that was my fault for having it on at the moment. I want to thank parents for your financial investment, for the instruments that you have, the books that we've paid for, all those things. This is the beginning of a 7-year journey. If you have not had a kid in band, we are hoping that this is a 7-year process for us and a journey. That's why I tell the students, this is a journey, and we get better every year. We have great things in the next 2 grades. High school's doing some amazing things. Last night, Owen Cornell was named first chair All-State Orchestra, which is huge for Bolivar. And so there's great things to happen, and their future in music is great, because we have great support from our administration. Thank you to them, from fellow teachers, and the community loves what we do in band. So thank you for your investment in these children, and thank you that we get a chance to instruct them and become friends with them. Again, it's a great journey, and I'm blessed to get to be with students for 7 years. It's a blessing, and thank you for your commitment and your support of us. Thank you.